Probably my favorite part of being chair is, again, meeting and working with a great group of people. Our board was very dynamic and very enriched and enthused this year. I thought it was great considering we still worked under COVID conditions. I think I'm most proud this year is that we started our first golf tournament, which gave us some more funds to do things we wanted to do. For example, we were able to increase the number of business grants we did this year, as well as the number of scholarships for high school students. And it was something we probably felt we've been lacking in the past. We were glad to pick it up this year. Yeah, throughout the golf tournament, the setup and the day of the event, all the board members were there. Some were out on the golf course doing things, others were doing registration. Some were doing different contests we had throughout the course. So it was a whole board activity.
So to me, the importance of recognizing our community leaders who take time out of their day and out of their lives to mentor our young professionals, I mean, it's huge. It's always the unsung heroes. So it's not very often when they get recognized for their hard work and their dedication, because they're the ones who do make the lasting impacts on people like myself. My mentors throughout my life, I can't say more great things about them. So Black Tie Blue News to me is one of my favorite events because it's us taking time to really thank them for everything they've done, when usually that's something that goes unnoticed.
I loved being the chair of the Champs this year because I love meeting different people at the many different organizations and businesses throughout the coast. I always feel like I encouraged all of our Chamber Champs to be involved with the Chamber events. I feel with this Chamber that you can always be involved at the many different ribbon cuttings and the events you guys host because they're morning, noon, and night. And I just loved encouraging our Champs to be involved in everything they can, because I feel with this chamber, or any chamber, you get out what you put into it. If you don't go to things, you're obviously not going to make an impact with your business or the chamber.
So Taste, Rattle, and Roll, we didn't get to have that event last year, and this year it somewhat had to be reinvented. We couldn't have indoor events still at that capacity, and we had to find a way to do it outdoors because we didn't know what the restrictions were going to be. So we partnered with Centennial Plaza, and we came up with this great plan to have it outdoors around the beautiful fountains at Centennial, and it was just the perfect day. We had so many restaurants participate, and at that time, the restaurants really needed to get out and promote their businesses, and they needed to show people that they were still open for business and they were able to provide, the service that they were used to. And we got nothing but positive feedback from those business owners. They enjoyed it. It brought recognition to them, and I think, the end result was it increased their business. So we were extremely happy with that, and we're looking forward to next year.
My favorite part of serving as Military One Coast this past year was working with the military and assisting the military in any way that we could. As a former military, as an Air Force retiree here on the coast, I understand how important it is for the Mississippi Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce and local business to assist and help with the military families that we have here on the coast.
I think that's probably one of the most rewarding things about being on the board is making that impact, whether it's student scholarships. We're helping them get that education, and one of the questions we ask, is what would you do to make Long Beach better? Would you want to come back to Long Beach? And I love the fact that a lot of the students will say, yes, I want to move back to Long Beach. I want to make Long Beach better. I want to be a part of that contributing community that we have there. The business grants, to be able to go in there and help those businesses, whether it's promoting their business with advertisement or helping them with the facade that they have out front, or buying equipment, whether it's a Xerox machine. Those things are important to them. Teacher grants, they're helping with education there. And so it's to educate. It's not just to educate the coast about the things that are happening in our communities, but it's also to educate those students so that they become contributing citizens when they graduate, and they hopefully move back to Long Beach and then maybe want to open a small business. So it just kind of comes full circle. So we just love the program of work that we have, and we feel like we make a big impact with what we do and the grants that we are able to give.
Personally, what LGC, being a part of that, did for me is I always wanted to get involved in the chamber or just get involved in the community, and I really didn't know where to begin. And once I actually got into the program and graduated, and I knew I wanted to get involved more, and I think it opened doors that it makes you more comfortable, because now when you walk into a room, you know people. And also the connections that you make, they kind of persuade you to say, hey, come help with our board, come here. So I think for me, it just made me more comfortable being around going into events and actually knowing people, and it just opened up doors to help me get more involved and made me want to get more involved.
I would imagine that the board of directors at St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy sees the value in networking, sees the value in being in the room with the people that support us on an ongoing basis. I mean, so many of the businesses that when I look around the room at our Biloxi Chamber Board, they're sponsoring my golf tournament, or they're doing whatever to support our organization. So to be able to work side by side with the individuals that are investing in my mission at work is always important. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunity sometimes as the nonprofit to in turn show support to those businesses that support us. And so if I could do that and in some small way, I think they see value in that as well. Anytime you're able to stand in front of a camera and say, you know, you're the executive for St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy, or and I'm proud to be here to work with you all, or stand in front of a breakfast with the mayor, or be in meetings that are critical to the city. I mean, that's the community we serve. And so being invested in what's going on is important.